In 1908, a young woman burst into tears of joy during Steiner's lecture in Berlin. She had just experienced what she called cosmic consciousness. Steiner's response shocked everyone in the room. "Madame," he said gently, "your ecstasy is as dangerous as your deepest despair." What he taught next would become the most transformative and most misunderstood practice in all of Anthroposophy. Welcome back, consciousness pioneers. For 2 days, you've been building power, taming your mind with the pencil, awakening your will with arbitrary acts. But today Steiner's going to show you why every spiritual high you've ever had might have been holding you back, and why your darkest moments, they might have been your greatest teachers in disguise. Here's what nobody tells you about enlightenment experiences, Kundalini awakenings, or mystical states. Steiner knew something that even advanced practitioners miss. Extreme joy creates the same distortion in your energy field as extreme sorrow. Let that sink in. That bliss you're chasing, that ecstatic state, according to Steiner, it's just another prison, a golden cage instead of an iron one, but still a cage. Steiner explained it like this, and this comes from his lectures on the Rose Cross meditation. The soul that swings to extremes is like a pendulum. The further it swings to joy, the further it must swing to sorrow. This is cosmic law. But here's where it gets really wild. Steiner said that in the exact center point, that millisecond where the pendulum changes direction, there exists a portal, a doorway to what he called objective spiritual perception. Most people spend their entire lives swinging past this door, never even knowing it exists. Now, the Rose Cross isn't just some pretty symbol. For Steiner, it was a living meditation that could literally restructure your astral body. And I'm not using literally lightly here. He taught that the rose represents the purified blood, passion transformed into compassion. The cross, that's matter, limitation, the physical world that seems to trap us. But where they meet, that intersection, that's where human becomes divine. Here's something most people don't know. Steiner was initiated into the actual Rosicrucian tradition, not the weekend workshop version, but the real lineage that traces back to Christian Rosenkreuz. In his autobiography, he hints at experiences he was not at liberty to discuss. But in his private lessons, he taught practices that hadn't been shared publicly for centuries. Today, you're getting one of them. Now, modern science is catching up. They've discovered something called emotional regulation networks in the brain. Guess what happens when these networks are balanced? Enhanced creativity, better decision making, and here's the kicker, increased gamma wave activity. The same brain waves associated with advanced meditators and supposedly psychic phenomena. Steiner knew this in 1908, without EEGs, without fMRIs. How? He said, true clairvoyance arises not from ecstasy, but from perfect inner equilibrium. All right, let's get into the actual practice. And I need to warn you, this is different from anything you've probably done. It's not about feeling good. It's not about transcendence. It's about becoming so perfectly balanced that you can perceive reality without the distortion of your own emotional charge. Steiner called this the path of the middle pillar. And once you find it, everything changes. Find a comfortable position, spine straight but not rigid. Steiner was specific. Dignity without tension. Close your eyes. First, we're going to create what Steiner called the inner space. Take 3 breaths, but not just any breaths. With each inhale, imagine you're expanding inside, creating room. Breathe in, expanding, and release. Again, creating inner space. Let it go. Last one, vast inner space. And release. Now, in this space you've created, we're going to build the rose cross, but not with visualization. Steiner was adamant about this. We build it with feeling. First, bring to mind a moment of genuine joy from your life, not ecstasy, not bliss, just joy. Maybe a sunset, a child's laughter, a moment of accomplishment. Feel it, let it fill your chest. Now, and this is crucial, don't push it away, but notice, this is joy. I am experiencing joy, but I am not this joy. You are the one observing the joy. Let the joy be there, but find the part of you that remains unchanged by it, the witness. Now gently let that joy settle. Like sediment in water, let it sink down. In the same inner space, bring up a moment of sorrow, not trauma, not devastation, just sadness, a loss, a disappointment, a goodbye. Feel it. Let it be present in your chest. Again, notice, this is sorrow. I am experiencing sorrow, but I am not this sorrow. You are the one observing the sorrow. Now comes the rose cross moment. Hold both in your awareness, the joy below, the sorrow present, not mixing them, not choosing, just holding both. And in between them, feel for something else, a point of perfect balance, not numbness, not indifference, but a kind of sacred neutrality. Steiner described it as a warmth that doesn't burn, a coolness that doesn't chill. This is the horizontal beam of your inner cross, the balance between opposites. Now imagine a vertical line running through your body, from the earth below, through your spine, to the cosmos above. Where these two lines meet in your heart center, something begins to bloom. Don't force it, don't visualize it, just notice. Is there a warmth, a presence, a subtle flowering? This is what Steiner called the rose of the purified heart, not a visualization, a living reality that emerges from perfect balance. Rest here, in this balance point. Notice how different it feels from both joy and sorrow. Notice the clarity, the stillness that isn't static. From this place, Steiner said, true spiritual perception becomes possible, not colored by your hopes, not distorted by your fears, just what is. Very gently, let your awareness return to your breath, to your body, and when you're ready, open your eyes. How do you feel? Different from after a normal meditation, right? Not high, not low, but somehow more here? This is what Steiner was after. He said, this is from a 1909 lecture in Munich. The spirit world cannot be perceived by one who brings their own weather. Only in perfect climate can reality be seen. Now here's the advanced practice. Throughout your day, whenever you feel yourself swinging, too much excitement, too much disappointment, remember this center point. Don't suppress the emotion, that spiritual bypassing, and Steiner was very clear about this. Feel it fully, but also remember, I am experiencing this. I am not this. Steiner revealed something profound about this practice. He said that maintaining equanimity doesn't make you emotionless. It makes you more capable of feeling. Think about it. When you're not afraid of sorrow, you can fully open to joy. When you're not addicted to joy, you can fully experience sorrow as the sacred teacher it is. He called this the paradox of the rose cross. By needing neither, you can have both. But Steiner also gave a warning. He said that as you develop this equanimity, you might go through what he called the gray period. Everything might feel a bit flat for a while, colors less vivid, emotions less intense. This isn't enlightenment, it's withdrawal. You've been addicted to the swing of the pendulum your whole life. Of course there's withdrawal. Push through. On the other side, Steiner promised something incredible. Colors become more vivid than ever, but you are not moved by them. Emotions arise like weather, but you remain the sky. Here's something beautiful. Steiner taught that when multiple people practice equanimity simultaneously, it creates what he called a chalice in the etheric realm. This chalice, he said, can catch and hold higher spiritual forces that individual practitioners can't access alone. Right now, around the world, people are finding their center point, creating their inner rose cross, each one contributing to this invisible chalice. You're not just balancing yourself, you're helping balance humanity. I want to leave you with something Steiner said that completely changed how I understand spiritual development. The mystic who seeks only light is as lost as the materialist who sees only darkness. The initiate stands at the crossing point, where light and dark reveal each other's truth. Today you touch that crossing point. Tomorrow and every day after, you can return to it. not as an escape from life's extremes, but as a place of power from which to experience them fully, without being destroyed by them, without being inflated by them, just witnessing, experiencing, being. Before we part, let's anchor this. Close your eyes one more time. Find that center point, that perfect balance. And from this place, make a gentle commitment. I will remember this center. In joy, I will remember. In sorrow, I will remember. I am the one who experiences, not the experience itself. Open your eyes. Welcome to the path of the Rose Cross. Tomorrow, day 4, we enter even deeper waters. Steiner's fourth exercise, positivity, but not the toxic positivity of modern self-help. Steiner's version, it's about developing what he called the eyes of Christ, the ability to see the divine spark hidden in the darkest places, the practice that he said could transform lead into gold, but not in the way alchemists imagined. But today you have the rose cross to integrate, the balance point to find again and again. Remember, every time you return to center, you're not just healing yourself, you're healing the world. Until tomorrow, fellow travelers, stay centered,